lovelies, welcome back to my channel, welcome back for another video. I hope you're all doing really well, or welcome to my channel if you are new here, if you're expecting, if you're pregnant, or you're trying to get pregnant, or you just want to be nosy about pregnancy, then hi, my name's Ashley. I am currently in my second trimester. I'm a little bit behind with this, I'm not gonna lie. So this is my first trimester recap. I'd love it so much if you wanted to stick around if you are new here. I'm gonna do a lot more pregnancy related videos. I'm finally getting around to it. Finally feeling a little bit better. So yeah, they will be coming. So do stick around if you want to see more of that. Or if you are a returning subscriber and you're just here to watch one of my videos, then hey. I've just made myself a cup of tea. I wanted a hot chocolate. I've run out of hot chocolate. Was I very annoyed about that? Yes. But my mug is super cute, so we'll just go with it. And quite honestly, I am just absolutely freezing, so I just need any hot drink. Hence why I'm sitting on the floor down here, because I'm on my like really fluffy rug and I'm in front of a radiator. So yeah, I wanted to do a first trimester recap, as I said, and I will do a little bit of a Q&A at the end of the video as well. I did put some questions up on my Instagram story, so if you guys don't already follow me on Instagram and you want to get involved with future videos like this, and I will leave my Instagram and my TikTok on the screen here for you guys. But yeah, just a little warning before I do jump into it. I'm not going to be going into like loads of details, but if you don't like people talking about sick, then a little warning for you guys, probably not the video for you. So yeah, let's just jump straight on into the video. Okay, so I do have a little list written out. I did try and write down as much as possible of like how I was feeling, any new symptoms that I had week by week. But first of all, I am just going to go over like the overall, so I'm not repeating myself, but I do have like week 4, week 5, week 6, that sort of thing. So one of my symptoms that has just carried on throughout my whole pregnancy, in fact I still have it now, are food aversions. I honestly had heard of this before, but I just thought it was like, you know, you just don't fancy a certain type of food or something. I don't want that, like I'll have something else. No, these food aversions are so strong. When I say if someone even mentioned certain foods to me, I felt like I could throw up, or if I saw certain foods, or if I like, because I have really gone off vegetables, that has been my biggest food aversion. Like I cannot eat broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, anything like that. Like even the thought of it right now is not right. It has got a little bit better, but in the first trimester, honestly, like if Sean said, oh, can I have chicken and broccoli and rice tonight, I was like, stop talking to me. I can't even talk about that. So yeah, food aversions have been really strong, but as I said, vegetables have been the strongest food aversion for sure. And then to be honest, just like, especially in the first trimester, just healthy meals just weren't my thing. So typically I would love to eat like salmon, veg, rice, that sort of thing. That'd be like my go-to meal. Obviously like jazz it up a little bit, but honestly the thought of that was just, no, couldn't eat that. So all I wanted in the first trimester was like McDonald's, KFC, that sort of thing, which I won't say too much about the second trimester now, because I will do a second trimester update. But I've got a lot better with that. Although I still can't eat vegetables, I'm loving like fruit and salad and that sort of thing. So another one that was a common factor in my first trimester, love this one so much, I've still got it in my second trimester. It's perfect. Morning sickness. I don't know why they call it morning sickness for one, because it does not just last in the morning. If anything, I think mine gets worse as the day goes on and sort of stops around the evening time. But when I tell you, I have got so much more respect for women during pregnancy, because honestly, like our bodies go through so much, our bodies change so much obviously, but just it's so draining, like so tiring, and then being sick on top of that. So yeah, first trimester, I think I was first sick the day, was it the day I found out or the day after? I think it was the day I found out, because I think that's one of the reasons that I tested. And thinking back now, I think I was probably just nervous because I just found out that I was pregnant, because after that then I was sick the day after that once, and then my sickness didn't actually start again until I think week 8, I believe. And then, oh my god, it hit me full force. I was being sick every single day. I would wake up in the morning. Do you know what it is? It's not just the sickness. I would have the worst headaches in the world, like pressure headaches. But the headaches would go away when I was sick, but then they would come back, and then I'd be sick again, and then they'd come back and I'd be sick again. So it was just kind of like a vicious circle. And as I say, that did carry on through my second trimester. I will do like more of an update on that. But yeah, that was probably the worst bit. I was throwing up in dog bags. I was taking dog poo bags out with me when I was going to like Starbucks, if I was going out with my mum, if I was going on a walk. I would literally carry a dog bag, and I was being sick multiple times, like in my car. After one of our scans, I was being sick in the McDonald's drive-thru when Sean was buying me breakfast, being sick like in between. it was grim. Like, it's nothing is pretty about pregnancy, let's be honest. Well, the first trimester. I am on sickness tablets now, which are helping a lot. I think it's cyclazine, I believe, and 1 a day seems to be helping massively. Like, I haven't been sick since I like tried not taking it for a day, which was last week, so I'm gonna stay on them for a little while longer. But yeah, they're helping massively. So if you are in the same boat, like, there is no point in suffering, just call your GP or your midwife and try and get some anti-sickness tablets, because it really does just make the whole experience so much nicer. But yeah, morning sickness was just grim. And do you know what the worst thing was? Actually, it kept tricking me. So it would come for like 2 weeks and then I wouldn't be sick for like a whole week, and I was like, oh my god, sickness is gone. Like, I feel so good, bam, it would come back and I'd be being sick like multiple times a day again, and then it would go. Like, literally, I remember the last week of my first trimester it went, and I was like, that's amazing. And then as soon as the second trimester hit again, it went downhill. But yeah, I think I'm just going to be one of those people that's sick a lot through their pregnancy, but that has probably been the worst one for me. Okay, so next one that I can see as like a little common factor when I'm looking through the weeks is sore boobs. Oh my god, I remember, especially probably from like week 4 to week 8, they just feel so heavy and just bruised and just like, yeah, just painful. Like, I remember even walking down the stairs, I would just hold them like please don't hurt. That was a common factor throughout my first trimester. One thing I did find that helped was sleeping in sports bras, not like triangle bras, just like a sports bra, so they felt a little bit more compact sort of thing. But yeah, just so heavy. And even in the shower, if I was in the shower and the water went on my boobs, it hurt so much. Like, the pain, it's just crazy. They just feel so bruised and sore. I've also written that they were solid. Honestly, to the touch, they just felt rock solid. Like, there was just no movement. They were solid. So yeah, that was another fun one. But to be honest, that one didn't like really bother me. It was painful, but I could deal with it. I had ways of like getting around it. I would even just put like some ice on them and it felt a little bit better. Just like an ice pack. It kind of just relieved them a little bit. Okay, another one which is so weird. You hear this a lot, but smells. Something in my house, and I do not know what it is, actually in my house, in my car, most places, I can just smell something off. It smells of like a dirty dishcloth. You know, that like almost damp, dirty sort of smell. And I could have cleaned the whole house. It could have been blitzed from top to bottom, and I'd be like, something smells. I can smell something in here. And my mum or Sean would be like, no it doesn't, like, you've lost your mind. And I was like, no, honestly. But it's just so weird. I don't know where or why we do that, because you hear a lot of people have that symptom, so I have no idea why. But that was also something that was making me feel sick. If I was in the house and I could smell this smell, I literally had to like go in another room or go out for a bit, because it was just like sending me, and it was just not making me feel too cute. So yeah, strong sense of smell. I don't know if that actually was something that I could smell, or I don't know, it was like changing hormones or something. But yeah, it was just a really like dirty, like you know, if you put your clothes in the washing machine and you leave them in, like you forget about them, and the next day, like, or the day after, they smell like damp and just like, that's what everything smelled like, and I have no idea why. So yeah, that was another one. Okay, and then last like common one throughout all the weeks is just the driest mouth in the mornings. Like, honestly, like the Sahara Desert. I would wake up and you know when you just like just feel grim. I just had the driest mouth in the world. No matter if I drank like 5 litres the day before, it would just be horrible. My favourite thing to do has been to brush my teeth, like Sean, every morning as soon as I get up. Like, as soon as my eyes are open, I'm like, I need to brush my teeth. Like, it just makes me feel so much better. Because I don't know what it was, but having a dry mouth was making me feel sick. And obviously I felt more thirsty, but downing loads of water didn't help with that either. So yeah, just brushing my teeth and mouthwash has helped like massively. That's another tip I would say. If you do have sickness in pregnancy, either have like gum or mouthwash or brush your teeth. That helped me so much, which again is just so weird. Okay, now I'm just going to go through like week by week, because these are all like slightly different. So week 4, which is when I tested and found out I was pregnant. I think I was 4 weeks and 2 days when I found out I was pregnant. I will leave my finding out I was pregnant video up here if you guys haven't already seen it. It's pretty emotional. I kind of lost the plot a little bit, and obviously Sean was emotional as well, but I really love that video. Like, it's super cute. I tested because I was always hot. If you know me, hence why I'm sitting by my radiator and I've got a hot drink, I'm always cold, so for me to wake up in the night like sweating and just not wanting the duvet on me or wanting to sleep with the fan on, it was just a bit weird. So I tested because I was always hot, super tired. I was literally going to bed or falling asleep on the sofa at like 7:30, sleeping all the way through, and then I'd like sleep in the day, like I'd have a half an hour cheeky little nap and then be like, I'm still so tired, I don't know why. Tiredness, to be fair, is probably actually one that lasted throughout my first trimester, but I would say in the first sort of like 8 weeks, that was when my tiredness was just peak. Like if you'd have said to me you can go and get into bed at 5:30, I'd have been like, cool, see ya. I was honestly so tired. This is one of the weirdest ones to me, but I remember being out for a meal with some of my closest friends and my mum and some of her closest friends, and they obviously didn't know that I was pregnant, but excess saliva, like I was talking to people and I was just like trying not to spit. Like that is honestly really disgusting, but I just had so much excess saliva. I have no idea why, but then I googled it. I was sitting at the table like trying to hide my phone from everyone, and it said that's really common in early pregnancy. So yeah, if you've had that, apparently that's normal as well. I've also written moody. I don't think I was moody like all day, and I wasn't super like emotional or anything, but I was probably just a little bit more snappy. You know when you have to like repeat yourself a few times or something, I'd just be like, oh my god, like you're not listening. And actually they probably were. It was probably just me even mumbling because I was tired and just being snappy and miserable. So yeah, a little bit moody, but to be fair, I don't think that lasted very long. I think it's probably just where your body's getting used to all these different hormones. But I put that in week 5, so Sean would probably agree with that if he can remember. So also in week 5 is a little bit of a scary one. I'm just going to read you what I've written, then I'll just sort of explain it. But I've written backache and really low down stomach pains, anxiety over stomach pains, starting to worry if there is something wrong. I think where it's my first pregnancy, I don't know what's normal and what's not. Google says some pains are normal. So this, I was really struggling because I was having, they did start off quite mild, but low down I was having quite, not bad pains, but to the point like I was really noticing them at first. So I was googling it. Obviously it said round ligament pain, but I think that's normally more like your second trimester. And then there's obviously the worry of like an ectopic pregnancy or a pregnancy in a wrong place. So I was getting a bit worried, and obviously Google just scares you anyway, so it's probably not the best thing to do to Google it. But yeah, I just wasn't sure if I was being over dramatic or these things were normal because I've never been pregnant before, obviously. Then the next day I've put pains are like a dull cramping, burning pain, really low down, super painful. So at this point I didn't have a midwife. I honestly just thought like I'm being a bit dramatic, so I just carried on about my day. I did mention it to my mum and she said she would go get it checked out. So throughout that day they were getting worse, so I was like, right, okay, I think I need to get it checked out. But went to bed that night and woke up in the middle of the night like the worst pains. They were honestly so painful, like really burning, cramping pains, and I actually passed out from the pain. Like that's how bad they were. So Sean, I remember trying to call Sean, but he couldn't quite hear me, so I'd passed out, and then I remember coming round and I called Sean again. He heard me. Obviously he panicked because it's just scary. Called 999 and they basically said I needed to go to hospital right away. So we literally live like 5 minutes from the hospital, so we drove there. We were there like all night pretty much. They did loads of tests and stuff. Basically came back there, had quite a bad UTI. They gave me some antibiotics for that. They also wanted to do a early pregnancy scan just to make sure everything was okay. So they booked me in for an early pregnancy scan on the Monday, which was just a whole story in itself, I'm not even gonna lie. Basically they did the scan. So if you don't know, if you've never had an early pregnancy scan, it's an internal scan. I think it's if you're before 8 weeks, and I think I was 6 weeks at this point. No, I was 5 weeks, sorry. So they did the internal scan. She showed us on the screen, but obviously everything was really small, so she could see the, do they call it a yolk sac, I think? So she could see that, and she thought she could see like a tiny heartbeat. So we was like, perfect. All this tiny little heartbeat, like they are so small at this point. I think it was literally millimeters, like maybe 4 millimeters or something. So we've left that room, we've gone and sat back in reception, and we're just waiting there. We were waiting there for ages, and we was like, this is a bit weird. And then this other nurse came out and she pulled us into a side room, and she basically said that the lady that had done the scan couldn't see a baby. She couldn't see anything there, so they thought it was in the wrong location, and we were really confused because we was like, we've literally just seen the baby. Obviously we're devastated at this point, sitting there crying. She's given us leaflets of, I think it was for ectopic pregnancy and pregnancy of unknown location, I think it was called. We left, took them away, got to the car park, and she basically called us. The sonographer had pressed the wrong button on the screen and said she couldn't find a baby, so that information's then been passed over. Yeah, we were just like, what is going on? We were just a bit confused, like, is everything definitely okay? We were unsure. They'd taken bloods and stuff from me then, so all of my hormone levels and stuff were looking good. So we were like, that's promising, but they booked us in for another scan 2 weeks later. It turns out they also gave me the wrong antibiotics, so the ones that I was taking weren't touching the infection anyway, so it was just getting worse. So honestly, when I tell you these pains, I was in agony. Like, I was literally crying just all the time, and I think I have quite a high pain threshold. I say that now, wait till I give birth, but it was awful. So I got the right antibiotics in the end, and that finally went away, but that was just a really scary time because it was just the unknown, and yeah, it was just really painful. Okay, so moving on to week 7, I've just put, as I said earlier, major food aversions. The thought of veg makes me feel sick, but I love pickles and tangy foods. Salt and vinegar crisps. Salt and vinegar crisps, I went for a stage of being obsessed with salt and vinegar discos. If you've ever had them before, they're very, very strong. They're so nice, but honestly, I think they were like dehydrating me because I was so thirsty and my tongue was like burnt to an absolute crisp. Literally to the point, my mum and me on a random like Friday night, I was like, Mum, I need these crisps, like I really want them. So we drove around trying to find them because they don't sell them everywhere, I don't know why. We went to like 3 different petrol stations and they were sold out, and I found them in another one, and they had the grab bags, so they're a little bit bigger, they're like this big, and I think I bought like 10 packs and it was like £20. But that is just all I fancied. That's all I wanted, and I would eat them any time of the day. Even if it was like 1 in the morning, I woke up hungry, I'd go downstairs and just get a bag of discos. So they really hit the spot. Pickles and spicy food as well have been absolute faves. Like, I've been eating jalapenos out of the jar. How weird. Gherkins, love them so much. Also, if you have ever been to America and you've had, I think they're either banana peppers or banana pickles. I go through jars of them when we're in America, and I've asked for them for my birthday because honestly I need them. I literally dream about them, so if I get them I'll be very happy. And then I've just put morning sickness. Was sick in the Starbucks drive-through. I was driving, by the way, as well, and I was by myself, so it was honestly really embarrassing. I was being sick in a bag and having to like hold back to go to the window, hoping they'd be quick with my drink and then I could just drive on and be sick again. Honestly, it was awful. Sick in the McDonald's drive-thru, that was with Sean, and he was dying. He was literally like ducking every time that I was being sick. Yeah, that was mainly in the morning I've written, but it definitely crept in to later in the day as the weeks went on. And then, I don't know why, I just stopped writing down my symptoms, but I've come back in week 9 and gone, sickness has disappeared. I'm so excited, I feel so much better. It didn't, it came back. I think it literally went for like a week and I was so happy about it, and then it just came back with a vengeance and it was worse than ever. So if you are pregnant and you've stopped being sick, it might fool you and it might come back. Yeah, here we go. And then 10 weeks, 1 day, I've put, nope, it's tricked me, it's back. The last thing that I had another UTI, so it's same symptoms as before, but I'd caught it earlier, so it was nowhere near as bad. And honestly, I didn't realise how common UTIs are in pregnancy. I have never ever had a UTI before, but I've had 2 so far in pregnancy, and they're just horrible. They honestly are awful. I think it sounds so dramatic if you've never had one before, but they just make you feel horrible, and it's really painful. So yeah, if you've got any typical symptoms of a UTI, then just go and get checked, do a urine sample, and just ask them to check for you, because they can give you some antibiotics and they will just help so much. If you leave it, they get so much worse. Take it from me, because I think I left mine for probably about 2 weeks without really realizing what it was. So yeah, don't do that. Okay, so that's pretty much all of the like first trimester recap. But as I said earlier, I did put a little like Q&A box on my story to see if you guys had any questions. So I picked out a few of them. So the first one was, how long were you trying before you got pregnant? So I did actually, I think I said this in my Find Out We're Pregnant video, but we were trying for 7 months. So that was our 7th month when we found out that we were pregnant. I think on average it can take up to like a year. We pretty much said if we don't fall pregnant within the year, then we'll go and get like extra checks and stuff to see if we're all good, just to like have peace of mind. Honestly, I feel really fortunate that it was 7 months and not longer. As I said, if it was over 12 months, then we was gonna just double check that everything was okay. But yeah, I think when I googled it, it said on average it's like 12 months. So I was kind of expecting like around a year, that sort of time. And how long were you off contraception before getting pregnant? I think a good like year and a half, and that wasn't because we decided that we wanted to try for a baby then. It was just, so I'd been on a pill, it probably was about 3 or 4 years ago, and that was the pill where you don't come off, you just don't have a period. But that gave me really bad spots, so I went on Accutane, Roaccutane, which really helped me, but it's really harsh on your body. So I knew I didn't want to go back on that pill again. And then I went on another pill, and you know what, it made me crazy. Like, I was just not myself at all. It's actually really scary what these hormones do to you, but I was just horrible. So yeah, went on that pill, came off that as soon as I realised that I was just wanting to bite everyone's head off, because I was. If anyone even spoke to me, I was like, why are you talking to me, basically. And then I went on another pill, and I just kind of got fed up. I was like, I'm just putting all this stuff in my body. I know that we're going to want to try to have kids probably within the next couple of years, so I'd rather just have like a clean slate. So yeah, I just stopped taking the pill probably like a year and a half before trying, I think. Favourite part about your pregnancy so far? So this was obviously like a first trimester question. So favourite part would be obviously the scan. So we had a early pregnancy scan. That was amazing, because obviously you just know if it's fine, like it puts your mind at ease. And then we also had our 12-week scan, which, yeah, that's first trimester, isn't it? That's like the scan that makes it feel the most real, because it looks like a baby and you see it like moving around and stuff. So I absolutely loved that. But also telling Sean, that was the best bit ever. I absolutely loved doing that. It was so hard to keep it a secret. Like, I literally died not telling him all day. I felt really bad, but it was amazing. His reaction was so good, and if I do say so myself, I did it very well. So yeah, again, I will leave the video if you haven't seen it in the description box or up here somewhere. Do you have a preference of a boy or a girl? So we actually have our gender reveal on Sunday, which I'm honestly so excited for. No, to be honest, I don't. Neither does Sean, really. It sounds typical and it's really boring, but as long as they're healthy, I genuinely don't mind. And also, we want more than one child if we are able to, fingers crossed. So yeah, no, I would like a mixture eventually, but for our first, I'm really not bothered at all. Right now, I am 99.9% sure it's a boy. I'm convinced. So I said to Sean, if it's a girl, I will be beyond shocked, like lost for words, because I'm just so convinced it's a boy. Not even really for a particular reason. I've just always said to Sean, like, even before we got pregnant, we're gonna have a boy first. I'm 100% convinced we're gonna have a boy. So yeah, we'll find out on Sunday. I think I'm gonna do a gender reveal vlog and put it up on here. I honestly just can't wait. I really can't wait. And then we can kind of narrow down names and stuff. We won't name the baby before it's here. We'll just have a few to pick from. But yeah, if you guys have any name suggestions, I would love to know down below. That would be great, because we've got a few, but we're definitely not set on any yet. And then last one, did you use any apps to track your pregnancy? So we used 2. Did I use 2 or did I use 1, and then when I got pregnant I used another one? Yeah, so I used 1. I used the Flow app, which I did pay for. I think it's like £10 a month, but it is good if you're wanting to track your period and like your fertile days. Then I do really recommend Flow. There is also a free version as well, but I'm not sure on the difference, because we did pay for the upgraded version. Now that we are pregnant, I've just gone back to the standard version, and it just tells you where your baby's at, which is so cute. And now that we are pregnant, like I said, so this wasn't to track my ovulation or anything like that, we use another app called Pregnancy Plus, which I will show you. This one's really crazy because it shows you like the size of it. So this is baby now, if you can see, and it shows you like actual size, but they don't even fit on the screen now. Like, how are they that big? I think it's crazy because I can't even really feel them kicking at this point. I feel like some little movements that I think is them. Could be wind, I don't know, but I just find it crazy that they're that big and I can't really feel much. But yeah, this is a great app if you actually are pregnant. It's got loads of like advice on there, loads of like baby names, meal ideas, things you should expect from your body, what else, how your body will look at each stage, what size your baby is. They compare it's like a fruit. I think it's a fruit, an animal, and a sweet. Yeah, and a sweet, so you can tell each week, and it gives you like loads of things that you should expect that week, and what your baby's doing and what they're developing and all that good stuff. So yeah, really recommend that app, and I'm pretty sure that one's free, so we love that one. Okay, so I've just waffled on forever and completely forgotten about my tea, so I'm gonna go and enjoy this now. But yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I think I will do a second trimester recap. I might do the what's it called, you know, like the gender prediction video. I might do that. So that may be out in a few days. I've got the gender reveal video coming up. I'm gonna do baby name videos, the nursery tour, things I've been buying. I just can't wait to share it with you guys, so stay tuned if you do want to see that. There will be other videos up on my channel as well, like loads of clothing hauls and stuff as normal. If you guys have any other questions for me or anything like that, then leave them down below. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Also, thank you so much for all your kind words on our finding out we're pregnant video. You've just all been so lovely, and it's just such an exciting time. I'm just so happy that so many of you are excited for us, and I get to share it with loads of you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.